What is shaking? Back in the backyard? Well, I'm always in the backyard. Although I haven't been the last couple of times. It's been a little chilly. Got a little soft, but I like to be in the backyard, especially when we have guests over. And it's always fun to have a good friend of mine, Dave Flemming, come over. You know him from calling Giants game, one of the voices of the Giants, the best broadcasting team in the business. He also does college hoops, also does college football as well. We'll find out what he has on tap for college football, maybe some of the bowl games, maybe some FCF playoffs possibly. Get his take on the Giants, college playoffs, the who's in, who's out, all that kind of stuff. Maybe a little hot stove league, whatever we have time for. Hello, Dave. How are you?
I had to put my little ski hat on.
You did. You did. I had mine on. I figured we were going to look like bank robbers. I'll take mine off, put a hat on.
Now you left me looking like the guy who's soft.
Oh, no. Trust me. Like, we got the warm stuff on. We could always pop the fire on. Every time we come in here on a Sunday night, Bergie and I, Brent's first thing he does. Yeah. Fire's on. We let it rage, and we're good to go. So how's everything going? You look good.
Thank you. It's good to be over in the backyard. Everything's good.
Does it surprise you how long you've been in this business now?
Yes. I mean, now I meet so many kids who are like, man, my first memory is listening to you or watching you, or I grew up, these 30-year-olds who come up to me. I grew up watching you, man. I'm like, you? No. Yeah, it's a long time. It's crazy how time flies. My kids are in college. But it's great. Like, the cool part about it is, I mean, it's fun to hear people say stuff like that, but it's also like Jeff Kent goes into the Hall of Fame. And I got to watch Jeff Kent play, not for very long, but I got to see Jeff Kent play in a Giants uniform. So I have enough built up kind of institutional history now where I feel like a little more of a vet. Still the young guy on my crew, but I feel like a little more of a vet.
No, I mean, look, you are. But I think even when you were young, I didn't consider you like a vet, but you had enough knowledge of, I mean, you just did. That's the way you operate. I mean, you're a baseball fan, you're a football fan, you're just a sports fan. It's funny how many people in our profession aren't necessarily sports fans. They're just good at what they do. It's like, I call the game, I get paid, I'm out. What happened? I don't know. I didn't see that game. I didn't watch that game. It didn't surprise me anymore. It used to surprise me back when I played, because I talk to my teammates sometimes about certain games, and they'd be like, I don't watch that. What are you talking about? Like, I talked to Steve Kerr during the baseball playoffs. He's a huge baseball fan, and we always text during the playoffs. And he's like, none of my coaches want to talk baseball. I can't talk baseball. Nobody cares. He goes, I got to text you to talk baseball because nobody cares about baseball.
I'm going to tell a quick Steve Kerr story. So I was in this last baseball season. Giants went to Minnesota for some interleague play. Happened to be right when the Warriors were there to play the Timberwolves in the playoffs. So I decided, and we had an off night, like game 2. The Warriors ended up losing that game. It was kind of the beginning of the end. Curry didn't play. Anyway, so I decided I was going to go, and I hooked up with the TNT people. Like, hey, I'm going to come over and say hi. I walk in the back tunnel. There comes Kerr, and Steve sees me. He's like, well, just come in the production meeting. He's going to meet Van Gundy and BA, and I was like, well, I don't think that's really, I'm just here. He goes, no, come on in. So we sit down. And we end up talking. I mean, I felt terrible. We end up talking baseball during this TNT production meeting. And Steve actually made such a good point. He was talking about Curry and getting hurt. And Butler was banged up and arguing to play more minutes. And he kind of went on a rant about how the Dodgers used Scherzer when the Giants played. This was all him. Remember when the Scherzer closed out the Giants series, and then they talked like, well, it was his bullpen day. It was his side day anyway. And they pitched him in the next series, and he blew out, and he missed a year. And Steve's point was playoff intensity, playoff adrenaline, playoff, sort of effort level. and these guys want to equate it to like a practice session or a bullpen session or a side session. And he was doing it with hoops too. He was like, we get these off days in the playoffs, but it isn't like an off day in the regular season, because playoff minutes aren't like regular season minutes.
Yeah.
They just aren't. Anyway, I loved it because like only Steve Kerr would be bringing up Scherzer and Giants and arm injury, trying to tie it into Butler and Kerr. I was in my element, man.
No, absolutely.
If I didn't love him enough, I loved him.
And he's absolutely right.
Yeah,
he's absolutely right. It's the same people that used to say, I don't know if as many. I used to, do the Revenge of the Nerds. Like I still do it because it's funny. But I mean, look, I believe what the nerds are selling a lot of the time anyway. But doesn't mean I'm still not going to do it because I am, because it's funny. Ogre going nerds. But when people used to say, "Oh, the 9th inning's like the 7th inning or like the 8th inning," what is mix and match and just keep, it doesn't really matter. It's just an inning. And I was like, no, it's not an inning.
Yeah.
That's what analytics misses across the board. They miss the human element. They do. Some guys can handle it. Some guys can't handle it. Some guys can do better under pressure. Some guys do worse under pressure. Guys also like to know what their roles are. They don't like to be bouncing around 9th inning, 7th inning, 6th inning, 9th. It's like, so for those people that just thought, we'll just pitch them whenever, interchangeable. I was like, it just doesn't work. And I think they've kind of understood now. It doesn't work.
I think it's a very good comparison, probably better than the one I'm going to use. The one that has been driving me crazy lately is kicking field goals versus going for it.
Yeah.
And it's different in terms of like you're talking about, hey, the 9th inning is different than the 7th inning from a player like adrenaline standpoint and pressure standpoint. But I believe there is a team psychology when you don't just take some points sometimes.
I agree.
Kick a field goal, take some points. There's a positive feeling that comes out of that that maybe the math numbers don't agree with, but it's just driving me crazy how some teams just are refusing to take points. When I'm not talking about kicking a 55-yard field goal, like kick the 38-yarder and get on the board and take a lead.
Yeah, instead of like 4th and 4, 4th and 4, let's go for it. Well, just take your point. The one that kills me, and people are starting to buy into this, and I still not buying into it, is when you're down more than 14, you go for 2.
Yeah.
Because the analytics say, well, you want more information. You want to know what you have to do. If you get the 2, let's say you're down 14. You get the 2, now you're down 6, now you can win it. Okay, you missed the 2, now you need to go for 2 to tie it. Whereas if you go for the touchdown, you can still go for 2 and win it at the end. So here's my thing. They always say, we want more information. What they leave out is the fucking other team has information too. Yeah. If you miss it, they're going to run their plays differently, knowing they can run a little bit more clock now because you have to score and get the 2 to tie it. Like that information isn't exclusive. It's not proprietary to the offense that goes for it. Everyone gets everyone knows. So I just think a lot of people take this stuff, swallow it down because they're like, well, look, the algorithms run it through and while I'm on the roll, let me just say this.
Just keep going.
I'm glad I had you over. To do this.
This is while I'm on sitting by a fire pit that's not turned on.
But while I'm on the roll, the more plays they run and the more times they do this, the more information they get, the numbers could change.
Yeah.
They're always changing. They're not static.
No.
They're always changing.
No.
So all right, your thoughts.
I do think you're right in that there has been a little acknowledgement lately of maybe the hard and fast line, because it really was for a long time. It felt like if you tried to make the point that you or I are making on any of these topics, you're an idiot.
You should shut. You don't understand numbers.
You are so stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
You are behind. You're an idiot. There was like no debate. I think now there's at least an acknowledgement that maybe it's not quite as cut and dry.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we had the same thing when we had. It's funny, we had Boog Shambi on, and I like Boog.
Yeah.
Although I was going over this goes all the way back.
He's kind of the opposite. Like he is a firm believer in.
We went back to the World Series Dodgers Rays when Snell was pitching. Remember, it was sixth inning. He had one hit. Mookie Betts coming up. They took him out, which was funny because I go, if the Rays believed in analytics, that year Mookie Betts hit better against lefties than he did righty, or he hit better against righties than lefties. So, do you believe in analytics or you don't believe in analytics? Blake Snell has since proven he can go beyond sixth innings. So, Anyway, I was saying, why not leave him in? He's pitching well. Dodgers can't hit him, blah, blah, blah. And I remember Boog saying, he goes, you don't understand numbers. And I go, Boog, I understand them perfectly fine. The thing is with numbers, they're always changing. So if nobody ever, if I can't go past 6 innings because 2 years ago I got lit up or whatever, and I never go past 6 innings, guess what? Those numbers will never change because you're never giving me a chance to go out there and pitch past the 6th inning. And now you're going to rely on your bullpen all the time. It's going to get tired. It's going to get broken. All the stuff that goes along with it. So my whole thing has always been with analytics. Let it inform you. Don't let it dictate to you. That's it.
Yeah. That's it seems.
And
like
then I go, okay,
really
let's move on. Because I could be.
I know.
I'm going to get mad. You're going to get up and leave, and I'm not even going to acknowledge it. I'm just going to be talking like this son of a bitch is unbelievable with this. So, all right, you brought it up. I wanted to get to it. Jeff Kent, Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I feel really good for him.
So do I.
I feel terrible in a way that it's so tethered to Bonds, and so much of the discussion has been who isn't in and who isn't being allowed in, as opposed to let's just celebrate Jeff Kent's in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
He was a great hitter for a long time. He was a great hitter on a great offensive team. He won an MVP. Everybody uses the home runs by a second baseman, and I think that's, if you're going to have a headline sort of reason why he's in the Hall of Fame, that's probably it. But there are other reasons too. Like, he was a great player, and I hope that we can, once it gets maybe closer to actually going in and the Giants do some stuff for him at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Because it's bugged me the last few weeks how the conversation around Kent almost doesn't even acknowledge his career. It's why isn't Lou Whitaker in? Why isn't Barry Bonds in? Why isn't Roger Clemens in? Why isn't Dale Murphy in? Why isn't, and look, I think those guys should be in too. But Jeff Kent is a Hall of Famer, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, I was never all that troubled by the fact he didn't make it. I could see the argument for him not being in, but the percentages were a joke. It's like, are you guys even giving this guy a fair look? Like, you look at his numbers, and I know, you go by zone ratings or whatever. He didn't have the greatest range in the world, but when he got to it, he caught it, and nobody hung in on a double play any better than that guy hung in on a double play.
We all watched him play defense. I'm just not buying he wasn't a good defensive player.
I agree.
Was he Roberto Alomar? He was not. But, he played second base, a really hard position to play, very well for a long time. I'm sorry, the defensive numbers, I just don't fully trust the trying to have some stat that sums up your career defense. I don't trust that stuff. I trust that maybe he wasn't an all-time great at second base. He was a good defender there. He was.
And I didn't like a lot of people threw out, he had Barry protecting him in the lineup. And I'm like, well, that always helps. But guess what? About as much of the time, Kent was behind Barry. It's seeing if you can get Barry some pitches to hit. Not that it ever worked with Barry because he's Barry. But again, I'm with you.
Weren't we just on this of the lineup doesn't matter? It doesn't matter who's hitting. But I thought that was. I thought we were on that now. Now we're going back to this. That just we got some double standards.
Oh my!
He was a great player, and I'm happy he's in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. Well put. I've kind of changed my opinion on Bonds, Clemens, all those guys. I can still see the argument that if you cheated, took steroids, you're not in the Hall of Fame. I get that, but what switched it for me was, once Bud Selig went in, the guy that presided over the steroid era, I'm like, let them all in. I mean, it was a joke for him to say he didn't. Ralph used to play this all the time, the soundbite of Bud Selig saying, a reporter asked me, Bud, I didn't know. How were you supposed to know? I was like, I don't know. Open your eyes. Anybody can see. When dudes come back looking like the Hulk, hitting pop shots to right center for right-handed hitters, of course. You're actively trying not to look at it, or you're just derelict in your duty. But once he got in, I was like, let them all in. Let everybody in.
Yeah. You and I are not going to win that argument, though.
No, I know.
Yeah,
but that's how we feel.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's just impossible. There's no way we're ever going to delineate who did, who didn't, who was doing what, how much did it. We're just not. It's an impossible thing to. There are guys in the Hall of Fame who 100% absolutely did that stuff. They just weren't named in the same way as Barry and Clemens and a few others, and the whole thing makes me sad. But the Hall of Fame players don't want those guys in. That's the
It's
hidden
clear
story
now.
of all this is
Yeah.
that the players themselves, everybody likes to blame the writers or it's the Hall of Fame players that are the blockade. They are relentless in their opposition to this, and that doesn't seem like it's going to change.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And no one seems to be picking up on that. No one seems to be blaming the Hall of Fame players. It's like, hey, talk to them.
Yeah,
if you
that's
want those,
who it is.
Yep. If you want those guys in, then talk to them. All right, let's get to this year's Giants. Maybe a little hot stove league. I think we didn't talk about
lukewarm
this.
Stove.
Yeah, exactly. I would have never thought at the end of the year we'd be saying, "Boy, they really need pitching."
Yeah,
we thought the pitching was where they had their strength and they needed some hitting.
I think you and I sat here before the season last year and talked about, man, they got 9 starters. What are they going to do with all these guys? Now they have 2.
They basically have 2
or 3.
I mean, Verlander was like the last half of the year had some really good starts
he was
for
good.
him. Yeah. I mean, look, Webb and Ray, I thought they were actually better than their numbers may have. I thought they wore down a little bit at the end of the year, and I thought the pressure that every time they took the ball, they had to pitch a gem. Like, because if they lose, they could lose 5-6 in a row. Yeah. It's like, God, we got to. So you got Webb, you got Ray, and then after that, I mean, do you think there's any interest in the Japanese youngster that's coming over?
My sense is no.
No.
Some interest, but my sense is, everybody's blaming the budget and Giants are being cheap and going cheap. I mean, there might be some budget stuff going on, but I think it's more an evaluation, and they could be wrong. They could be wrong. This guy is talented, but I think they're not looking at him. This is just a pure guess. This isn't like me passing along inside info, but my sense in talking to them all is like they just aren't overwhelmed by the chance of like big time success hitting the ceiling. So in that case, I'm in favor of not giving a $200 million contract. If you don't think the guy's going to be an elite player, don't give him a big deal that maybe precludes you from doing something else. I think that might be the case with a lot of these higher end starting pitchers. All of them you can make an argument for. Every single one of them you can make an argument against. Would they help the Giants? 100%. All those guys would help the Giants, and they need somebody. They need some starting pitching depth. But I'm not convinced they need at the highest end. I think they can be fine if they get just some guys who can compete for those spots because they need some extra arms.
Who's your out of the guys that are either have pitched in the majors for a short time or guys coming up in the minors? Who are you hopeful for?
Yeah,
that maybe can come up and make an impact with the Giants?
It's a good, hard question. I mean, I think I could make an argument that Hayden Birdsong is the most important player in the organization right now who's not an established, more than Eldridge. I could make the argument more than they've got some talented young guys who are still a couple years away, but the farm system's gotten a lot better. We're going to see some of those guys fairly soon, but I could argue that Birdsong is the one guy with kind of the elite ability level on the pitching side who hasn't come close to reaching that and may not. I mean, it could be that he isn't going to. I believe in him. He wants to be good, but I think if I were in charge of the Giants, I'd be devoting a massive amount of time to trying to get him figured out. I like the kid McDonald. I think he can have a role on the pitching staff. Landon Roop's going to be solid. Mm-hmm. There are other guys who can help, but Birdsong to me is the one guy who I looked at the last few years like, okay, that is a high-level major league starter repertoire if he can get it together. I think he can.
Yeah. So what about Eldridge? I mean, we don't know. I don't know if Sabian said this or alluded to it, or maybe I just made it up, or somebody had to have said it. You're a prospect until you're not a prospect.
Yeah.
Like, how many prospects have never panned out? A ton of them.
Yeah.
I don't know what this guy's going to – I don't know if he's going to be good or not. I mean, it looks like he has the tools to be really good. From what I've read, the makeup's good, all that stuff. But what are your thoughts and hopes for him at first base? Because obviously that's huge to not only have another power left-handed bat in the lineup, but to have a young, controllable asset for 6 years would be massive for them.
Yeah, they need it. They need it. The fans need it. You need they've done a good job. Webb is one of them. Patrick Bailey's one of them. Ramos has become one of them. They've done a better job than they get credit for developing some homegrown players.
Yeah.
They still need an anchor, one of those, and he can be that guy. It's a little nuance. I'll say this. All right, number one, he's not Luciano or even Bart, or everybody wants to throw out like Hunter Bishop.
Yeah.
Like this guy at age 19 and 20 dominated and flew up the ranks by performing. So that differentiates him from those other guys who always had ability and always the scouts identified with, their tools there, there's first round pedigree or whatever. Like, no, Bryce actually did it and earned his way up fast. And the list of players who are that age who do what he did is a really good list to be on. Like most of those guys who did what he did turned into good big league players. That's where I think there's a difference with what Sabes is saying. And I agree with Sabes, but you're a prospect until you're not, except for there's a lot of data that shows like if you're a certain age and you're putting up numbers in the minor leagues, that's a really good precursor to success. So I think the signs are all pointing towards this guy's going to be an impact hitter. He has flaws. The strikeouts are always going to be there. The number one flaw is, and it's not his fault, but he's never going to give you, even if he turns into a really good first baseman and he's gotten a lot better, when you're first base only, it just limits.
Yeah,
there just aren't many. You think around the game, they're just Ohtani doesn't play a position when he's not pitching and is elite.
Yeah.
There aren't that many of them. The bar is so high to be like a great player. And that's why I think they have to at least be open about the idea of if you got somebody you thought was a great all-around player in return, I could see the case for even if he gets to his ultimate ceiling, this guy's going to be hitting 35, 40 home runs at the big league level. Those guys who do that without adding much base running defense, they're still limited in like how great are they? That's not a knock on him at all. I think he can be really good. He hit 180 and didn't hit a home run. I loved his at-bats at the end of the year. I thought they showed like huge growth. He was taking tough pitches. His outs were hard. His contact was loud. He didn't look overwhelmed. He didn't look nervous in big spots. All that stuff looked great to me. But there is a cap when you're his profile of player that's different from, say, like, when I'm trying to pick, like Bobby Witt Jr., who was a top 10 prospect. Like Bobby Witt, even when he's not hitting, is a great base runner and a great defender and like just adding value in other ways. Bryce is never going to have that, and that kind of limits the type of player he can be. Ultimately.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad you said that because baseball's and I think this happened under Farhan a little bit. And by the way, I liked Farhan. I like talking to him. I think he's a really smart guy. And I hate when fans, even broadcasters, people affiliated with certain organizations, kill a guy after he leaves.
Yeah.
It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Just stop. If you want to kill him while he's there. And I thought I thought his biggest problem was too offensive focus, like trying to get all the matchups and lineups right without worrying about defense. And then worrying, not that it's a bad thing, but worrying too much about the fringes of the roster, fringes of the 40-man, instead of trying to like work on the 5 or 6 man core. But other than that, whatever. But I think when you look at, Eldridge and to your point, I think baseball in the last 5 years has probably gotten back to, we want complete ball players. Yeah. It's not just going to be about offensive war because that took me to the Giants because other teams did that too. Was let's make sure we get the matchups we want. And who fucking played left field for him that one time? That like backup catcher for the Giants or whatever it was is out there playing left field. Yeah. No, I know who you're talking about. Like third baseman. Like
he came from the Rockies.
Yeah. I'm like, come on. I know they're hitting balls out there, and it's like he's chasing them around. I'm like, what's that his fault? Yeah. Shouldn't be out there playing left field, but they got the matchup they wanted. But I think baseball is getting like we want more complete players, right? How can you help us when you're not hitting? Because I always look at basketball. How can you help when you're not scoring? Do you rebound? Can you assist? Do you play good defense? Do you set good picks? Do you get on the ground, get us an extra possession? What do you do to impact the game when you're not scoring? And I think the same is true in baseball. You're not hitting. What do you do to help the ball club? Can you draw a walk? Can you run the bases? can you hit to the right side when we got a guy on second base? Can you get a fly ball and just get a guy in from third base? The Giants have been awful at that the last few years. Like, good Lord, can we just work on a little bit of the fundamental? But those are winning plays. I want guys that can have winning plays impact when they're not hitting. And to your point, maybe Eldridge can, maybe he can't, but it limits you when you're at first.
It just limits you. He's gotten a lot better from where he was in spring training last year to where he was at the end of the year. I was shocked how much better he was. Yeah. So that's a great sign. Like, he's going to be, I think, a good first baseman. You're still not impacting the game in the same way. If the Giants do one thing this offseason, again, this is just me. Mm-hmm. I'm not in charge. I'm not the president. I'm not the GM. Thank God. But they have to catch the ball better in the outfield.
Yeah,
absolutely have to. It destroyed them at times last year. And you play in this ballpark. To me, I am willing to make sacrifices on the offensive side to get that right. And look, that sort of brings Ramos into full focus. I love Elliott. Elliott's a great young man who has worked his tail off and continues to, and cares and is passionate and all the stuff you want from a young guy. Elliott is. He had a terrible year defensively, and it's got to be better. And if it's not better, it takes away all that other good stuff. He hit 20 how many home runs and hit the ball hard and came up with all these big hits and had these great moments, and it almost all of it got washed out by just being a bad defensive player. And it's not that he doesn't care. He's putting in time, but somebody's got to find a way to connect with him and see if they can get that better.
Yeah, it's not apples to apples, but it's kind of the equivalent a little bit of basketball and hockey plus minus.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you scored a whole bunch. You had 30. I used to have a guy that I played with would look at the box score at the end of the game and go, I did my job. I scored 30. And I'd always go, yeah, you gave up 32.
Yeah.
Like, look at the guy you're guarding.
True.
Like, great, you got 30. We're still -2 just in the guy you were guarding. Lee's got to be better in center field, too.
Yeah.
I thought he would be. I don't know why. Maybe just the body type. And I always equate, like, some of the Asian players with being, like, and this is so. I'm racially profiling here. I'm going to just let you know that right now. Put a, like, little banner at the bottom. Tom knows he's racially profiling. But just like smart guys, athletic guys, the guys that understand the game. And I didn't see as much as I thought I would see. And look, that's me. I mean, I shouldn't have thought that way. Not everybody's the same. But I just thought he'd be better just because of his athleticism. I thought he'd steal more bases. I thought he'd be better in the outfield.
Yeah.
If he's not going to be as good as I thought he could be, then it really hurts to have Ramos do what he's doing left because you don't have the guy in center kind of making up ground. It's like they got to get better in the outfield.
And Gilbert might have to be the center fielder. Gilbert's ceiling is probably limited offensively. He is. He's a crazy kid, but he's a very good defensive outfielder. And you saw at the end of the year, it was not a coincidence when Verlander was on the mound, Drew Gilbert was in center field. Like, Verlander's got the sort of status to say, I want that guy out there. That wasn't a total coincidence. And so maybe Lee can be a better corner than center fielder. Maybe he's always been a center fielder. Maybe a new coaching staff can help connect with him. Because to me, with Jung-Hoo, a lot of it is just sort of confidence.
Yeah.
You saw the moments of being tentative and not taking charge out there. He needs to run like the bunny's running around.
My bunny's on meth right now. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's like tweaking right now. I've never seen her do this before. I don't know if she like got if we got some bunny dope out here or something that like she's digging into. I've never seen it. I've never seen her like that.
They got to get that figured out too.
Yeah.
He's too talented. Because to your point about like fundamentals and you sort of stereotype that the players who come from Asia are going to be very fundamentally sound. You watch Team Japan, different from Team Korea, but you watch Team Japan play and how drilled into them all that stuff is. He's the son of an all-time great player.
Yeah.
And grew up around the game. He knows all that stuff. The instincts of the game are there for him. To me, it was a fear factor of not wanting to make mistakes, not
Yeah.
wanting to take charge, not wanting to make outs on the bases. Somebody needs to help him be a better base stealer, be a better base runner, be a better defensive outfielder. That is coaching. It's possible.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Part of the reason why there's a new coaching staff is because Jung-Hoo did not play up to his level of talent. And so that's why there's some new folks coming in.
And if anybody out there wants to profile me and say, you know what, Tom, he's really smart, really good looking, that's totally fine by me. Like, I think people should be okay with profiling if it's positive stuff. Go ahead. Totally fine with that. I'm okay with that. We are all good. Just a wild guess. Where do you think Kyle Tucker may go?
I think he's going to go to the Dodgers. I do.
I mean, would that be unbelievable if they just said, yeah?
I mean, I don't see like a big long-term deal for him. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Yankees Yankees, I think, are the other team that probably makes the most sense.
God, we're back in that era again.
Maybe they're waiting for Bellinger to make up his mind, and then if Bellinger wants to come back, then they don't need Tucker.
Yeah.
But I think, a big dollar amount, maybe for a little shorter, those teams won't have any problem doing that. Yeah.
Maybe the Dodgers will give him like 75 a year and guarantee like 1 a year. And the rest will be sign the Ohtani deal.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they're doing. And there's no rules against it.
There is no rules against
it.
And look, I don't think there should be rules against it. You're just upset because it's the Dodgers doing it. If the Giants were able to do it, you'd be super happy that somebody said, oh, yeah, I'll go to – I want to go to the Giants. I want to play for the Giants. Yeah, just give me deferred money. Give me $2 million a year, and we're good to go. You'd love that. You hate that because it's the Dodgers. Yeah. And I totally get it. Yeah. It's like I tell people, you would hate Draymond Green if he played for the Lakers. Hate him. Of course.
Draymond Green fan who doesn't say that is –
Draymond Green would probably be top 2 most hated list if he played for the Lakers, but he doesn't. He plays for you, so you're super pumped to have Draymond most of the time. Yeah. Even sometimes Warrior fans like, I'm not sure I love that. I'm not sure I loved him turning the ball over and then yelling at Quentin Post, like, bro, what are we doing here? You're like,
don't yell at me.
You turned it over. What are you yelling? Bro, why are you yelling at me? Because I didn't come get the ball. Like, please, what are you doing?
Dodgers are vulnerable, though. I believe that. I think the Dodgers are not. Look, the starting pitching is really, really good. And
if the Dodgers can't keep anybody healthy,
and if the starting pitching stays on the field, they're that's just the sort of the ultimate tiebreaker for them any given night. But you started to see some signs of some of their core players deteriorating.
Yeah, Mookie had a down
year. I mean, at some point, Freddie Freeman is going to start to slow down. Max Muncy at some point isn't going to hit the big home run every playoff game. The catcher's really good. Ohtani is Ohtani. It's a different team than it has been. They've, quietly become something that they haven't been. And I think, look, if they sign Kyle Tucker, they sign Edwin Diaz, maybe forget it all. But I think the Giants can get closer to them than they have been in a while with the right maneuvering. I do.
No, I agree. And look, I was going to say, people are listening, most of them, whether you hate the Dodgers or not, you do. That's clear. But
you don't have a bunch of Dodgers fan watching.
Probably not. But I want to root for a team that says, you know what? We're at the top. Let's widen that gap.
Yeah.
Like, I love when teams are in first place to come trade deadline. They go, okay, we're up a game. Let's make it 5 games. Let's give ourselves a better chance to win a World Series this year. Let's really step on the gas. I hate when teams say, we're good enough. We got a chance. We don't want to spend any more money. I love that about the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And I love any team and any owner that decides to do that. Joe Lacob does that for the Warriors. Like, anytime he has a chance to win and spend money, he's going to spend that money. And I think as a fan, that's all you want you want to feel like the ownership group is as passionate as you are about the team. And then after that, if you win, you win, you lose, you lose. You're going to bitch if you lose. We know that. But I think you want to feel like the ownership group is as committed as you are.
Yeah. And I think, look, I'm going to come across as maybe an apologist here, but I do think the Giants ownership group, all of us need to be a little more honest with ourselves, probably than we have been over the last few years. Like, the Giants have done a good job sitting here, you and me, right now, as opposed to a year ago.
Yeah.
The Giants are a more talented big league roster, more talented organization. They are. They've made progress. They're probably not at the point yet, though, where like the all-in blitz, pay every tax, dump all your resources right here, right now. Are they at that point right now? I don't know if they are. Now they have a bunch of veteran players who you want to take advantage of, Logan Webb and Rafi Devers and Chapman and Adames. You want to take advantage of having those guys on the team? Sure. But I do think that the Giants ownership group has always been of the mindset of like, when we actually see it, like here we are, then at the end of the championship run, they were like third in the big leagues in payroll.
Yeah.
And willingly so. And that didn't work at all. And that kind of has led to all this stuff. So anyway, that's a long-winded way of saying, I think they're going to get back to that point. It just might not be right here, right now.
Yeah. I do want to get to some college football playoffs and stuff, but before we do, another part of the team that I thought was pretty stable last year going forward was the back end of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Not so much
anymore.
Duvall for me was like, bye. Good luck. I hope you do well in New York, but he was like a guy that was like 7th, 8th inning, good. Get him in the 9th inning, something just clicked, and it wasn't positive. And then Walker struggled. Rodriguez is hurt. Not sure when he's going to come back. I feel like now what do? You felt like you had 2 or 3 guys at the back end of the bullpen. Now I don't know if they have anybody at the back end of the bullpen.
I liked the 4 guys between Tyler Rogers, Ryan Walker, Randy Rodriguez, and Camilo Duvall. I liked that foursome probably as I thought it was as good as any foursome in the game. And now you have one of those 4. Here's the lesson to take from that, in my opinion. The lesson to take from that is it's very volatile in the bullpen. Very.
Yep.
And the answer to your problems isn't always to then go out and spend your cash. Those guys are just hard to. It's hard. Who would have ever thought that Camilo Duvall, like 2 years ago, that guy's stuff was as dominant as anybody's? And I thought, well, they've got the best late inning reliever anybody has. And he was a total mess who was untrusted in the playoffs by the Yankees, his new team, like fresh start.
Yep.
Oh, wait till he goes over there. It's going to change. You get out of here and get some real coaching, and they're going to – and it was worse. So, some of it, nobody wants to hear it, but some of it is just you got to get a little lucky, and you got to be willing to try a bunch of different things and get to your group that you trust. That's where Tyler Rogers was such a, I am going to miss Tyler. Yeah. Good for him, by the way.
Good for him.
I mean, Tyler Rogers, think about Tyler. All those years of nobody believing in him, including the Giants. For a long time, he was performing in the minor leagues, and they didn't give him a chance. Finally, they gave him a chance. And he just signed a $38 million contract.
That's so cool.
Like, that is a dude who put in the time and had to convince everybody to get to that point. So, I miss him on the Giants, but that's the value of Tyler wasn't to me like, he's the guy you want with the World Series on the line. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. It was so reliable and so predictable in a world where everything else is crazy down there in the bullpen. He was just Mr. Steady.
Yeah. I mean, well, look at the Dodgers. They go and spend all that money on Tanner Scott. What did he do last year? It was awful.
Yeah. Horrible.
You never know.
Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott weren't on the World Series roster. They spent a combined like $40 million on those 2 dudes.
And they go out and get Diaz, and look, he's been good. Doesn't mean he's going to be good going forward now.
Zero guarantee.
The one thing I get out of all that was Giant fans need to step back every once in a while and just realize how special the core 4 was. That doesn't happen. And they didn't even have flamethrowers back then. No. They just had dudes that were able to get the job done. And it's different. You didn't have the 3-batter rule and all that kind of stuff. But even then, bullpens were volatile. To have that success to go for all 3 playoffs, I mean, Brian Wilson was part of the first one. But it's amazing. Yeah. It really is amazing. Like, you talk about all the stars they had and, Lincecum and Kane and Bumgarner, Posey and blah, 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 blah. Those guys, they don't get it done without those guys. And it probably is unlikely as anybody.
Over 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's a long period to have those guys do what they did. You're right about that.
No.
What a luxury that was.
Okay, last Giants thing. How much does Patrick Bailey get hurt by the ball strike challenge?
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think he gets crushed by it. I don't. I think. Now I could be proven wrong. Maybe when we get comfortable with this, we're going to see a lot of successful challenges.
Yeah.
I still think players are going to be reluctant to challenge early in games in sort of just what feel like non-high leverage situation, lower leverage spots. Those spots are still really important. Like bases empty, second inning, leadoff hitter up, difference between 2-1 and 1-2 is huge. It just might not be the spot where a team feels like, okay, I'm tapping the helmet. And so I think all those moments, he's still going to provide a ton of value.
Yeah. I guess the big question for him is, can he hit like the second half of the season, not the first half of the season? Because I've never bought you don't even have to hit. Like, no, you can't fucking hit 120, okay? That just doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
You got to be able to hit a little bit in the second half of the season. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I wasn't like dialed in like I usually am, but he continued to switch hit the whole year.
He did.
Correct? Yeah, that's what I thought.
He did.
And I'm wondering if that maybe is something he looks at and says, do I really need to go with the switch hitting along with the catching? I mean, boy, that's a lot on your plate mentally to have to deal with all that.
A lot. And so I have so much sympathy for catchers just in general. Like the stuff that they have to do is so above and beyond what anybody else has to do. It's hard to be a catcher, really hard. But, you watch him in those high leverage spots, like he was the Giants' best clutch hitter in a lot of ways. And it makes you wonder, like, if the focus and concentration level could be upped overall.
Yeah.
Get to that, sort of late and close scenario that he seems to be so good at, make that a reality more consistently. I am more hopeful with the new coaches connecting with him than probably with any other. Oh, look, Bob was a former catcher. Bob and Patrick had a nice relationship. But I think Bailey, and I would say if Patrick were sitting here with us, I would say this to him because I love Patrick. But I do think like him getting pushed in maybe a different way, he's so naturally talented. I'm not saying it's easy for him. He puts in a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I think him getting sort of challenged and tested in maybe a slightly different way could be really good for him.
All right, let's switch to some college football playoffs. Do we need two group of 5 teams in the playoffs?
Yeah, we don't need any. I don't think we need any. I love underdogs in sports. I do, but you're picking. It's first of all, it's football. It's not college hoops. Second of all, you're only taking 12. You're not taking 64. If you picked a college basketball bracket to win a championship, hold up a trophy at the end of the year, we are college football champions. If it were hoops and you had 12, would you take George Mason or VCU or pick your favorite, underdog? You would not. You would not argue for that. Football needs to have a minimum threshold. And maybe to protect against like big conference bias, you could let the computers determine that threshold to take away like sort of like collusion of the commissioners of these leagues are the ones sitting in the room deciding, and they're never going to favor if there aren't some rules in place. If you're in the top 10 or 12 by the computers, and you meet that threshold, you're a conference champion. Okay, you're in. Otherwise, you're not in. JMU lost by 2 touchdowns to Louisville. Louisville was a good team, solid team. What are they, 7-5, maybe something like that? And Tulane lost 45-10 to Ole Miss.
Crushed.
They're going back to Ole Miss now. Like, is it going to be closer? I think it will be closer. I think Tulane probably got better as the year went on. I don't always look at the score, but 45-10. Like, they were not a national championship caliber team this year. They weren't. They're not going to win the national championship. Those spots are precious. That would be a real important focus for me if I were college
I agree.
football.
Look, Oregon's favored by 21.5.
Yeah.
Mississippi's favored by 17.5.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a 12-team playoff, to me, like every spread should be within minimum 2 touchdowns. I mean, you shouldn't have spreads that are 21.5.
If BYU were at Oregon, what would the spread be? 10-9? 8?
Oh, yeah, probably maybe it could be 12, 11, but no more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably
if Notre Dame were at Ole Miss, they'd be favored. I think.
Oh, yeah, they would be.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you just take the first 2 teams out and put them in those 2 slots, put BYU at Oregon and put Notre Dame at Ole Miss, you'd have a more compelling weekend.
I saw a lot of power ratings that had Notre Dame third.
Yeah.
They're behind Ohio State and Indiana. Now, you still got to earn it. They lost their 2 games. You only beat USC.
Yeah.
There's got to be a because, look, if we just want to do the 12 best teams, let's just get Vegas power ratings and do the 12 best teams and get in there.
Right.
There's got to be some level of you got to win it on the field, right?
Yeah.
And Notre Dame didn't. So, I mean, they absolutely. You could make a case that Notre Dame and Vandy, Notre Dame and Texas, whatever, put them in there. Like the Alabama one was interesting for me because they were leaking oil, and they were leaking oil the last 5 weeks of the season. Like they went through that gauntlet, and then after that gauntlet, boy, they didn't look good. Ty Simpson didn't look good. The running game's awful.
Yeah. Defense
still pretty good, but you could make a case that and they could win a game. They could win 2 games possibly, but that's a game this is what I've always tried to wrestle with. When you weigh these things out, what should carry more weight? Good wins or bad losses?
Yeah. I think good wins.
So do I.
I think good wins.
I agree with you.
And I am a believer that you can earn it by winning games, by your winning performance. You can earn your way in even if we don't look at you and think I don't think Alabama can win the national championship. I don't.
Yeah, I agree.
They have not played very well.
They have not.
I don't think they have much of a chance at all. But I think they earn their way in.
Yeah.
I do. When you're the number 1 seed in that league and you went to Georgia and won, and you beat Vanderbilt and you beat the other teams, you went to Missouri and won. They have a lot of good wins, a lot.
Yeah.
I think they earn their way in. But I also think Notre Dame is playing way better than Alabama right now. I would think Notre Dame would have a way better chance of actually winning the national championship than Alabama does, but that doesn't mean that I think Notre Dame should have been in Alabama.
Yeah, well, hell, if Notre Dame and Alabama played right now in a neutral, Notre Dame probably a 5 or 6 point favorite,
I think
maybe
so.
even a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how much better they're playing. All right, let's go over a few of the games. You think? So we get a rematch. I get a couple rematches this weekend, but Friday night we get Alabama at Oklahoma. It is a cool game. I'm looking forward to it. The first one, I mean, Alabama dominated them. They outgained them by 2-1. It was like 400 to 200 yards. That was actually probably their last best offensive performance because Oklahoma's really good defensively.
Yeah.
Offensively, sometimes it becomes the John Mateer show. It's like Pop Warner. Do something with it, run or throw it or whatever. They don't run the ball that well either. I mean, this one to me is like turnovers. If Alabama can stay away from the turnovers, I think they win. If they can get Jam Miller back and run the ball just a little bit, they can't run the ball at all, and I think that hurts. That hurts Simpson as well. But I like their receivers. I like Williams. I like Bernard. I probably would take Bama here, but it should be a fun game to watch. But I don't know there's going to be a lot of offense in this game.
I think I'll take Oklahoma.
Okay.
I mean, I look, Mateer did not play very well down the stretch.
No.
But he's gotten a couple weeks to get a little healthier. I should pull up my phone and see what the weather. You think it's going to be cold in Oklahoma?
My guess would be yes.
I mean, my guess would be too. I think the cold would favor Oklahoma, sort of playing one of those kind of games. Yeah, it's pretty mild. Friday's going to be high of 59, low of 31.
That's beautiful.
So game time in the low 50s. So that's not.
It's beanie temperature for us. We're from
weather for you.
We're from California. It's always shorts weather for me.
But I think Oklahoma's defense with the home crowd, I think that's where a non-neutral game in these first rounds really helps Oklahoma.
Yeah. And look, Ty Simpson's got to play better. And this is my own picadillo here that I don't know why I can't get over this. But I'm going to take my hat off for this just so I can demonstrate. I never trust a quarterback who, when he has his helmet on, has his hair down over his forehead. Brush it back. I don't know. It just looks stupid. You got your hair and you got your helmet, and then you got hair coming out of your helmet. It's like, bro, brush your hair back. Fucking nerd.
I shouldn't
Fucking,
throw my son under
God.
the bus here too, but I argue with my son all the time because he's got the sort of 16-year-old boy hair where it's
You're
kind
the
of
boy
floppy,
hair.
and he's playing varsity high school basketball now. It's like it matters. This is like there is something on the line for you. Your teammates are relying on you. Can you see the ball? Can you see where you're supposed to be going? Like, get that out of your face. Like, what are we doing? This is not a fashion show. This is a game.
Gotta look good, man. Look good, play good. Okay, so you like Oklahoma, I kind of like Bama. We'll skip the two big spread games. A&M Miami is an interesting game. I'm glad Miami got in. I mean, look, that was the good wins versus bad losses, right? Because it was funny because everybody's like, well, Notre Dame's only lost to Miami and A&M. I'm like, yeah, but Miami's like the one that's trying to get in. They beat you can't just say, but that was a good loss. We lost to you.
Yeah.
So they lost to SMU and Louisville.
Yeah.
Is what they.
The Notre Dame people were yelling at me. So many Notre Dame people. Look at their losses. Their losses were terrible.
Yeah.
First of all, they're not terrible. Those two teams are
they're okay.
Are good teams.
They're good.
They're
teams.
not great teams,
yeah.
but they're good teams.
Yeah.
So they're not terrible losses.
Yes.
Second of all, one of your losses is to them. Like I just couldn't understand why that was so hard to.
I know.
Yeah, but they're two losses. Okay, that's fine. One of your losses is them.
They couldn't wrap their heads around that one.
Could not.
And their best win was USC.
Yeah.
Miami's best win was against you. Against
you.
you. And you're like a third-ranked team and the fourth-ranked team. You, and they beat you guys. Yeah, I didn't understand that. Again, we both agree they should be in, but not over Miami. Yeah, this game I find interesting because Carson Beck's had a good year. I can't remember the name of the receiver. I think it's Tony. Yeah, he's really good.
Oh my gosh,
he's electric.
So good.
And their defense is really good.
Yeah, the edge rusher's awesome.
Yeah.
They got some other dudes up front.
I like A&M's defense. Reed's an interesting dual threat guy. Like when he gets it going, he's like fun to watch. Run it and throw it and all that kind of stuff. I don't really know what to make of this game. I guess like if I were wagering on it, I probably would take Miami. Although they were getting 4.5, now they're getting 3.5. So I'm probably just going to watch the game. But I guess home field is maybe the difference in this one.
I'm on A&M. I love Marcel Reed. I think he's one of those guys too, where over the SEC schedule, which is just relentless. And this is another thing that the Notre Dame people don't want to acknowledge, that the Boise State people never used to acknowledge. When you play a schedule where, Notre Dame played some good teams, some. When you're Texas A&M, every single week you're just getting your brains beat in.
Yeah.
It is a war every week. SEC, even the SEC teams that aren't great, Mississippi State was not a very good team. Like you walk on the field before the game, those are like SEC bodies.
They're dudes.
And the attrition level over a long season. So for a guy like Reed, who's not a big dude, I think 2 weeks to like refresh and just feel better is huge.
Yeah.
I think he's going to play really well. I like A&M's coach a lot.
I like him
super
too.
Buttoned up.
Yeah.
Very smart guy. He'll have a good game plan. I can't say the same thing about Miami's
coaching.
Cristobal.
They get a little sketchy.
The in-game coaching can be really weird. I like A&M.
Yeah, no, I like Elko over Cristobal, no doubt. All right, I don't want to talk about the games, but either Oregon or Mississippi, in your mind, have a chance to win a national championship?
I think Oregon has a chance.
So do I. If they can get the receivers healthy.
Yeah.
Because they got some big-time receivers, but they were dinged up down the stretch. Yeah.
The quarterback's good.
Quarterback's good.
I'm
not great,
Am I as high on him as some people? Probably not, but he's good.
Yeah. They got a bunch of running backs. And you know what? They are. They're physical on defense.
Very much
now.
so.
They're like, it's taken them a couple years, but they're kind of like in the mold of Dan Lanning now.
That's it.
That's who
they hired an SEC coach who said, I want my roster to look like an SEC team.
Exactly. All right, the rest of the field that's not playing this weekend. I don't know if people realize or not, like Ohio State has literally played no one this year. Like they played Indiana and Texas is who they played.
Yeah.
Texas outgained them 2-1. It just Texas couldn't score at the goal line. They got in there. It's like fumble, turnover, stopped on downs. And then in Indiana we'll get to them in a minute, but that was a really good football game. They stood up to Ohio State's physicality. Sand was just okay.
Yeah.
But like the defense is really good. We know this. But I think people kind of just fell in line with the Ohio State's great. They're the number one team in the country throughout the bulk of the schedule, where I was like, but the Big Ten stinks.
Yeah.
Like they're like literally playing no one right now. And the two teams they played, now I will give them credit for this. Their best win was at Washington.
Good win.
They dominated that
Yeah.
game 24-6. That was an easy win for them. And that was a good one. And I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying I don't know exactly what they like. I wouldn't feel comfortable taking them to win the national championship at the odds. Like they're the favorites, I'm sure. I just wouldn't, because I'm not sure how good they are.
Yeah, I think it's probably the case that like last year they started blowing teams out.
Yeah.
I'm having a harder time seeing that this year. Like if they play, what would they match up with? They could match up with Georgia in the semifinals.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
I don't see that as a blowout possibility.
Yeah.
They blew out Oregon last year, which was shocking to me. They have the most talent, though.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, they do.
Those two receivers are just
they're pretty good.
So freaking
They're pretty good. Well, Smith is a man. He's like varsity playing against JV.
Truly. And the other guy's really, really good too.
Yeah.
The quarterback, I used to say, hey, it's a freshman quarterback. There've been so many of them lately who've either won championships or gotten real close.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He may be a limiting factor in like how much they trust him. I think I'm with you. I wouldn't necessarily like lay the odds that they're take the odds that they're getting, but I do think they are the best team.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Georgia. Georgia's interesting because Georgia at one point of the season, you thought, oh, this is not a Georgia defense. It just isn't. But that was so early. It was like back-to-back games. It was Tennessee, where they gave up 41. Yeah. And then the first half of the Bama game, where Bama was up and down the field on them. They shut them down in the second half. And then Mississippi. And then after that, they started shutting some teams down. They started looking like Georgia a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't trust Gunnar Stockton as far as I can throw. I think he's super tough. He's going to run. He's going to pick up some key first downs. But like in a close game where I need him to make some plays, like with his arm, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm buying it.
The game wreckers aren't there like they've had.
They've
had so many of these guys. They're all playing for the Eagles or the Niners.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, I guess not all, but it feels like it.
Yeah.
Those guys aren't quite there. Their defense did play really well down the stretch, but it's not like the dudes who like just keep you up at night if you're an offensive guy or an offensive tackle. But Kirby Smart is the guy of all the coaches. I trust him the most of everybody, like in a championship setting.
Yeah.
So I think they have the best coach. I think they have close to the best roster. If I'm playing the odds, I'm taking Georgia to win it all.
See, if I'm playing the odds, I'm taking Texas Tech. I watched Texas Tech play this year. Did you see the game? You might have been doing the game. The game they played at Utah.
I saw it.
Okay.
I wasn't doing it. Yeah.
So I remember watching that game, and I was literally like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
Like, they're actually physical in the trenches.
They've never had that.
Never.
Ever.
They run the ball.
Ever.
They have 3 ball carriers on the team that average over 5 yards a carry. They have 4 receivers who have over 40 catches, and like each of them have a minimum of 5 touchdowns. Vetron Morton is like a dual threat guy that could throw a little bit, but defensively, they got guys. This Bailey guy has like 13 and a half sacks. He gets after the quarterback. Like, they have a physical. It's like, what? Because they go to Utah, right? Kyle Whittingham. Utah's going to out physical, and they just punched Utah in the mouth. And I was like, oh my God, these guys are pretty good. Now, do I think they're going to win? Probably not. But for the odds, I think it's like 10, 12 to 1. I was like, I like this Texas Tech team because they're so unlike a Texas Tech team.
Yeah, I'll buy that. If they commit to running the ball and playing defense and sort of like keep that formula, if they commit to that, I can see them winning it all. I think sometimes they sort of get the wild hair of like, hey, we're still the Red Raiders. Let's sling it around. And, Patrick Mahomes is watching. He might, If I really thought they were going to act like, sort of like a Saban championship type team, which I think they have the personnel. It's not maybe not quite Alabama level, but it's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
And you might be right. You might be right.
All right, last team, Indiana. Like this, I don't think this is an understatement. This is one of the biggest sports stories in my lifetime. This team is awful. Indiana was basically Antoine Randall L. and maybe Michael Penix, and that's it. Since the time I started watching sports, which was in the 70s, Indiana has always reliably been one of the worst teams in the country. In fact, I just think they passed up Wake Forest for like the worst winning percentage of like Power 4, Power 5 teams, whatever. Like they just nudged past Wake Forest. They've been awful. To be where they are now, number one, have a Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza, and be as physical as they are. Curt Cignetti may have done the most masterful coaching job. In the history of college sports is like, that could be hyperbole, but maybe it might not be. It might not be with where they were and where they are now. And when you watch them play and the stuff, they were just as physical as Ohio State. They don't have the dudes Ohio State does, but you wouldn't know it by watching them in the championship game. They punched him in the mouth. Mendoza's probably going to be the top pick in the draft. This kid, the Ohio State receivers. This kid Surratt for Indiana is he's really good. And who is it? Hemby, the running backs. They're just physical. They just get after you. Like, Google him is damn right. Like you probably should know who he is by now. But wow, like Dave, this is as stunning a story as I can ever remember.
It's my biggest hole because I really pride myself on, part of it is when you get assigned to some of the games that I get to, I see everybody, somehow I'm not on Alabama every week. I don't know if you've noticed that. But I really pride myself on getting to know almost everybody in the sport, having exposure to just about everybody. I've spent time with all of them except for him. ESPN, we don't have the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And so it's only his second year. I haven't had him in a bowl game or any other spot where I could have at least tried to get some insight into because I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
How is this guy this good? Is it he can identify talent so well? Is he just a genius at putting on the tape and saying, okay, that kid playing right guard for UTEP, we want him? Maybe it's that simple. I guess it's probably more multi-layered than that, but it's and that's, what I'm all right. I'm going to cut myself off. I'm not going on, but enough Stanford excuses about why they're not winning. Freaking Indiana is undefeated and going to play for a national championship. And you want to whine about all this other stuff. How about this? Get good coaching and get good players and go win games. And so many programs are still in the whine mode of, the system now and the world has changed, and UCLA's whining and all these teams are can't figure it out. Curt Cignetti figured it out. He's legit.
Yeah.
They can absolutely win it all. I love I feel like my partner Brock Osweiler should have been in the Heisman acceptance speech.
Yeah.
Because, we had Fernando the last couple of years with Cal a bunch of times. And right when he was sort of emerging as a player, we had him. They won that game at Auburn. We had that game. Some of their biggest, the game against Miami over there with game day there.
Yeah.
And he loved talking to Brock. And I think he loved, here's a guy I've heard of who played in the NFL, who's watching my film and acknowledging me and showing that he believes in me. I mean, you watch his speeches, his interviews after the game or his speech at the Heisman. He's the most earnest, nerdy, goofy kid of all. And he was like that in our calls. He'd be with Brock. He'd be like, do you really think so? I so appreciate that from you. And they'd sort of talk nerd football or whatever quarterback. And I am pulling for that guy because I feel like we were like, there's ground floor and then there's like starting in the basement, and that's where we did with him. We were with him from the start, and look at him now.
And just think, everybody was pulling for Pavi until he opened his mouth. Sometimes just keep your mouth shut. Yeah. You know what about Stanford too? If they only had like an endowment where they could pay athletes, like, and had some money over there, maybe they could get some of these guys to go to Stanford and stay at Stanford.
Yeah, no, you go down to that campus, you realize they don't have much.
They're like, sorry, that's earmarked for philosophy. We're not going to get that running back. Sorry, that's academics only. Yeah, do not touch. Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah. I love being over here with you. Have me anytime. I'll come back soon.
Well, let's do it. What's the bowl schedule for you?
I have so we have the FCS championship game,
oh, nice,
which is actually a fun game. So because of that, we're going to do a semifinal this week, which turns into Montana State, which, by the way, here's a little plug for that game. Brawl of the Wild. This will be the 125th time they've played. This is, I mean, every year in Montana State football is the number one sporting event every year. They've never played in the playoffs ever until Saturday. This will be the biggest game in the history of that state. It is the biggest sporting event in the history of Montana. The whole state is just beside itself, and it's actually really cool that we get to go up there and do it. That's super cool. So I know it's not the playoff game. We'd love to be doing a playoff game. Our crew's not doing a playoff game. That makes us a little unhappy. But the fact that we're doing that game is really cool. We're going to go down and do the Vegas Bowl on New Year's Eve, which is, fun to be down there. Kyle Whittingham's final game at Utah, and then we'll do the FCS championship in Nashville.
I guarantee you, though, you may not be doing the playoff games, but the atmosphere is going to be no better than in Montana for that game.
And the ticket prices, the get-in price is like 3 times higher than for any of the first-round playoff games.
Really?
The lowest price is like $750 just to walk in the door at Montana State. It's incredible. They just played a few weeks ago, like a classic all-time pick six, late, decided it for Montana State. So they got the 2 seed. Montana was the 3 seed. That's why Montana State gets to host the mountains of Bozeman, Montana. It is going to be amazing.
I'm going to pay $750 to go freeze my ass off.
Those people are going to do it.
Oh, my God. It's going to be incredible.
So I'm actually really pumped.
No, you should be. I'm definitely going to check out the game. So have a happy holidays.
ABC 1 Pacific on Saturday.
1 Pacific on Saturday?
It's kind of squeezed in between. We follow the Miami-Texas A&M game on ABC. So that game will go right into us, and then the other 2 are on TNT, I think. So
awesome!
Don't flip the channel; stay with us.
Oh, I know you got to run. I want to wish you Merry Christmas and everything. But real quick, what's the menu like for Christmas for you?
Because
I know no more meat.
I know I'm taking all the pills, so I'll probably cheat a little bit. We've decided we're going to do Italian Christmas Eve.
Nice.
Because we're going to go to Grace Cathedral for the carol service. So we want to.
Yeah, I'm going to miss that.
If you change your mind, call me. So we're going to do like a bolognese on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
And then
that has meat in it. That's meat sauce.
Yeah, so I'll cheat a little bit.
Okay,
and then
cheat with the
for
meat.
everybody else, I'll make a tenderloin on Christmas night.
But I won't. What kind of guy is that?
Yeah, but I won't.
He doesn't even eat meat, and he's making it for you. He doesn't eat a lot of meat.
Wow. Yeah, I won't have that.
That's man, you're a better man than I am.
Yeah, I love.
Because if I couldn't eat it, I'd be like,
maybe it's guilt.
Sorry.
You're out of luck.
Get your own stuff,
I'm having
man.
my chips.
Especially I know you're a good cook. You're gonna cook up some good stuff, and then you're just gonna watch
I'm gonna watch.
You get the pleasure.
I did it at Thanksgiving.
Are you just gonna sit there like this and like watch him eat it and kind of drool
silently,
like Lou would do? That looks good. Can you chew it a little slower for me?
Just snip it.
Yeah, super
lean
creepy.
In.
Hey, before you put that in your mouth.
Good plan.
Oh God, that's good. I did good this year.
So that's what's on tap.
Oh, not tap plastic.
Not tap plastics. I miss that, by the way.
Just do you?
I miss what's on tap. Brought to you by Tap
Plastics. Oh, that is hilarious.
Well, love my people at Ford, though. Love you.
Merry Christmas, Dave.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. We'll definitely do it again soon.
Yeah,
thanks, Dave.
awesome.
I appreciate it. All right, coming up, Brent Jones is going to join us. We'll talk about his Hall of Fame dinner, which I was at, which was a lot of fun. Brent getting inducted into the 49er Hall of Fame, and we'll do that in about 5 minutes right here on the Tom Tolbert Show.
What's happening? Can you hear me? The hell? The hell's wrong?
Hold on. We're live. We're gonna get this thing up. How do you go? Boom. Start. We're not working.
Shocking.
I know it is. It is shocking. So we're on the Scarlet. So how about we? What do we want to do here? And I can't. How come I can't see Brent? I can see Brent, but he's not up on.
I'm back. I was just cleaning up my desk or whatever I got.
I see you. Can you hear me?
Oh. Is it working?
No, not yet. We're plugged in.
Is it me?
No, it's me.
Okay.
It's me. We good? Lou, what's going on?
Lou, Tommy, bring you home some cake.
Lou's super fun.
I can see.
You want me to get the other one, the mic? Okay. All right, Brent. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Right now, I was going to use the.
The other one? Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Why don't you put beer break back on?
All right.
for just a bit.
I can hear Brent now.
You should be on. You're live.
We're good. We're live,
Yeah.
so everybody can hear us.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking great. Hey, everybody, what's going on? I'm glad
Brent's not live. Brent's not live.
I'm glad everybody can get a look behind the scenes here of me just scurrying to get this thing. Well, before Brent got there, he is.
Hey, I was behind the scenes too.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
I got you. You got me?
Yeah. Just
Thank
messing with
God. Well, I had to go to the because we had Dave Flemming on, and I had to go to the alternate microphone because that one wasn't quite working. So
you. Wow.
anyway, we're good. We're good. We're good. let everybody know that this segment of our program today is sponsored by Field Work, the official non-alcoholic craft beer of the San Jose Sharks. I have one right here, headliner. I can drink it.
Bam.
I can go about my day, Brent. I feel good. No alcohol, no impairment. I'm good. Now tonight, when I go to the Sharks game, there is going to be a small amount of impairment because I'm going to have a field work, but it's going to be a leaded field work, Brent. And what it's going to be.
I'm still waiting for the Sharks player to be doing a non-alcoholic field work during a hockey game.
Drinking
like if
it.
you see anybody down there pounding the field work, take video for me.
If it will,
Yeah,
it'll be
baby,
Tyler
field work.
Toffoli. It'll be good to go. Oh my gosh! All right, before we get to the game, I got to say what a wonderful time I had this weekend. I was invited to go to Brent's Hall of Fame induction. He's now a member of the San Francisco 49ers Hall of Fame, and it was I'll use a Brent word. It was spectacular this weekend. The Santa Clara Mafia was there. I felt like more people knew Bergie than knew who I was. Like, oh yeah, I know Bergie. Oh yeah, Bergie. Oh yeah, I know Bergie. Like, it was incredible. So I got to meet them. Got to meet some of the Niners for the first time. I got to see you, which was awesome. Dana, the first time I got to meet your girls. It's incredible. I've known you this long, and I finally got to meet Courtney and Rachel and their husbands. So I got to meet the whole Jones family. Got to meet your brother, your cousin, your nephew. So what a special evening it was. The stories that were told, and I could just tell how much it meant to you. So I just want to say thanks for inviting us and congratulations, and what a wonderful event, and it couldn't happen to a better guy.
No, thanks, Tommy. It was really great to have you there. You know, it was awesome to watch my family and my friends. And hey, there's Ronnie Lott, there's Steve Young, there's John Taylor, there's Patrick Willis. Yeah, that's great, but there's Tom Tolbert. Like, they're all, you know, they were. My brother was pumped. Like, my family has probably listened to you for 20-something years, or at least a good part of them. And my buddies too. So I know that they were psyched. It was a blast. Lori was awesome.
She wasn't. She's the best.
Fun. My grandson, my youngest grandson, 5 years old, told Lori she was beautiful.
She did.
It was awesome. Like, no coaching, no anything. I didn't even know he met Lori. And Lori's like, your grandson. It was amazing.
It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
She was telling him how sharp he looked, how sharp him and his brother looked. And he was tying his shoe. And she said he was tying his shoe, and he just looked up and goes, "You're beautiful." I go, that guy. That guy's going to be a handful before he gets to high school.
He is a handful right now at 5, doing the gritty. I said, he sat on Santa's lap, and Santa asked him, "What do you want for Christmas?" And he said, Odell Beckham jersey. I'm like, Case, Odell doesn't even play right now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's what he wants.
You can get those at the discount rack now. You're good to go.
For sure. Oh, man. The Niners went way over the top. It was, man, I felt like I was at the Academy Awards. It was really special to have all the guys there. It was just, it was a great night.
What did it mean to you? Because I know there were a few years there where there was, I don't know if estrangement's the right word, but you weren't as close with the 49ers as you had been previously and that you are now. Maybe you guys didn't see eye to eye or whatever it was, but now you're right back in the fold. And I mean, as well you should be. I mean, all you guys who were the first 49ers, whether it be 60s, 70s, you guys had the success you had in the 80s and early 90s. Of course, you guys should be a part of the organization. So it's great to see that you are. But talk about what that meant to you to just, to be recognized and being there with some of your brothers, the guys that helped kind of, I don't want to say you didn't found the 49ers, and it wasn't like that was the first we've ever, but that was the golden era of the 49ers.
It really was. Tom, you will laugh. I mean, there was a few years of estrangement in the transition, and it really wasn't anything the Yorks did. Certainly, I'm super loyal to Eddie, but in my last contract, they put in this like completion bonus, and I was supposed to get it when I retired. And Eddie, they were having some of the issues with the ownership, and the Yorks took it over, and I think it violated the salary cap the way that it was written. The salary cap kind of just became a deal the last few years of my career. So the Yorks are like, "What's this?" And it kind of escalated, and I'm sure I was a jerk once or twice, not too bad, but so I didn't know him as well, and so it was
you didn't get a belt buckle.
No, you know what? I should have gone and reached out to him and explained the situation, but I didn't. You're young, you're a young kid, and so I think for it wasn't anything against them, and I've ever since that was just kind of a few years, and then gradually got back in the mix, and I've spent some time around John and Denise. In fact, they had me and Dan to their box for a half hour during the game, and it was spectacular, and he was great, and Denise was great. And then we got to go over to Jed's box, and I felt like I was the president of the United States, and we were just hanging out and talking and laughing and talking about stories, and so they're fantastic. So that was 30-something years ago, and it was all kind of a misunderstanding by and large.
Yeah, I mean, you're where you should be. I mean, you are. I mean, you love the 49ers. And again, I think all teams should do right by their former greats. I mean, you really should. I mean, it's a legacy that you pass down to other players to let them know what it means to wear the uniform in a day and age where I think more athletes are probably concerned with the name on the back of the jersey than the name on the front of the jersey, or just being part of a group. It's just, and I'm not blaming them. It's a sign of the times. It's everybody wants to brand themselves and everybody wants to do this and do that. But when you have a special team and a special group, I think it's well worth your while as an organization to invest in those people and make sure you keep them around. And so when you go out there and you're wearing a Niner helmet, you understand what it means to be a 49er.
Absolutely. And in the York's defense, the team, they weren't owners. The team was kind of thrust on them.
Yeah, they didn't know.
And they were learning, and it was more the timing. They've done a miraculous job of building up the alumni. There's so many events, so many programs, so many things that they do. And I believe that, I know that they think it's important, and it's even accelerated since Jed's kind of taken over the leadership role, and he feels it and he gets it completely. For me, it meant so much, and the reason I probably bleed red and gold as much as anybody is, I was born and raised right here.
Yes, you were.
My grandparents were at Kezar. My parents, everybody in our family loved the Niners. My grandparents, my aunts and uncles, everybody, and to be right there and to unbelievably play for your hometown team and never really leave where you were, and to be able to do that in front of all your friends and family was so special. And the Yorks have really, really picked it up. The organization wants to be the best in the NFL, and I think they're amongst the top 3 or 4 right now. And obviously I'm biased, but what do you want from a great ownership team? You want them to care about winning, And that is translated by spending money and engaging with the fans and having all these great events. And they've done that as well as any team. And I pay attention, and I know guys on other teams, and it was just it's evolved nowadays. And so it's been pretty special to have an even deeper relationship with the Niners over the years, and it just continues to get even better. I mean, I felt like it was family, and I know that they want that.
Yeah.
You know, Eddie treated everybody like family. They do as well, and the things that they do behind the scenes that aren't publicized and aren't out there, I'm very well aware of. Especially, you know, we started the Golden Heart Fund 7 years ago, and you kind of know what's going on behind the scenes, and they've stepped up in a major way across the board, and they don't call attention to themselves, but a lot of respect, a lot of love for the York family.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. All right, so this game, we talked about it. You know, Bergie and I were talking about it on Sunday. It's just kind of what you'd hope a really good team does to a really bad team. Like, you never thought they were in any danger of losing that game. Would I like to have seen the run defense be a little bit better? Yeah. I mean, did they make a couple plays in the second half that I thought maybe could have been made the difference? But overall, it's like, look, Purdy looked the best he's looked since he came back. He actually looked like the toe wasn't right. The toe wasn't bothering him. He was running, he was juking, he was jiving, he was doing his thing. But it's like what you want to see a good team do to a bad team. Just systematically take them apart. There's no drama in the game, and you just win the game going away. And that's what they did.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. Of course, I saw bits and pieces. I was all over the place.
Yeah, I do
know
you were like
this.
the mayor of 49erville.
It was mayhem. But I know that Brock was dominating. I know my guy George Kittle was crushing it. It was Juwan always comes up with big plays. He just does. I mean, he has that air about him. And I love Ricky Pearsall getting back in the mix and having a lot of catches. And I know he tweaked his PCL and ankle, and I'm like, man, we need a healthy Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah,
we really do. I think he's a difference maker. I've thought that all year. At the beginning of the year, he got hurt, and I think the dude is special. I really do. Every week we say. Yeah, I wish our run defense could be a little bit better. But you know what? They make plays when they need to. I love Mustafa. I am a little concerned about the pressure that we're getting on quarterbacks. We gave Cam Ward a little too much time. And to be honest, that was the best I've seen the Titans play, to their credit. I mean, they fought, and they haven't given up on what's been a pretty darn tough season, I think, for them. And so you got to respect that. But we're the team. We're going to be the team that gets into the playoffs that nobody really wants to play. Like, there's not an obvious winner this year. And we've talked about it week in and week out. There's not a team that just completely sets itself apart and is just the obvious, this team's going to be in the Super Bowl. So anything could happen. But we're a scary team because we can light it up offensively.
Oh, it's funny because one of the people that was watching the show on Sunday brought up the pressure on the quarterback. And I agree with that. But I said against the Titans, I wouldn't mind if that was the game plan. Just build a fence around Cam Ward so he can't run, because Cam Ward can't beat you from the pocket yet. He's not that good yet. So you don't want to let him hit a seam and run, or hit a seam and then all of a sudden you come up and he's throwing it over the top of your head. So you don't want that to happen. But no, I do agree with you that they got Huff basically is what they have. And they got blitzes is what they have. And eventually, they'll have to do something like that. But I didn't think Tennessee was really the game where you had to go all out to try to get to Cam Ward, because he's not ready yet. He's not ready to beat you from the pocket. Just isn't.
Yeah.
So, but Purdy, some of the juking, the jiving, the spinning, he even got to himself when he did the pump fake. I was like, "What are you doing? Like, what was that? Like, what are you trying to do?"
It was tremendous. It was so out of character. He even called himself out on it. Like, what am I?
He did. He said he was an idiot or I was stupid or something. Well, he apologized to him right after he did it. He's like, "Look, I don't know. I was out of my head. I'm not sure what I was
You
doing."
know what?
But...
You know what? That's called exuberance. You know why? Because he freaking felt great. His toe didn't bother him. He was
yeah, you're right.
Rolling down the field, feeling a little salty, and like, yeah, look what I got. Then he's like, wait a second. Did I just do that?
Do you feel like this year is, and I said this on Sunday, I go, this has been one of the more enjoyable years watching the 49ers. They've had more dominant teams, there's no doubt. They've had better talent, there's no doubt. But when you look at all the injuries they've had, all the games that they played without Purdy, without Kittle, without Ayuk, without Warner, without Pearsall, without Bosa. I think Bethune's actually missed a few games, and he's been really good. Like, they've just been decimated with injuries. And I understand it's the NFL. Teams are going to get hurt. But this was like above and beyond to some of your best players. And defensively, your two best players. And to do what they've done and be in the position they're in, it's been a fun season because it's like this could have gone so differently right at the beginning. They could have lost to the Cardinals and Seahawks right off the bat. Then It would have been kind of a bummer season, right? It's just been really fun to watch these guys just pick each other up, find ways to win. Salah's been fantastic. I keep mentioning Coach of the Year, and I never mentioned Kyle. I should mention Kyle because Kyle's going to be a Coach of the Year candidate. I still think Vrabel probably wins it, but what Kyle's done and that staff have done has been nothing short of fantastic. Give the players a credit, but I guess what I'm trying to say in a very, very, very long-winded way is it's been a really fun season to watch so far.
It has been fun. In fact, I told Jed it's been the most rewarding season I've been a part of in a long time, and I'm a part of it from a fan's perspective. But once we lost those guys, the expectations were we're going to be 4-10, at this point in the year. And we've had guys, and I said, not only was it Mac Jones, but it's guys we hadn't heard of filling in at receiver, at D-line. Rookies had to play. It was across the board. It wasn't just one or two. It was a free-for-all. And somehow, some way, we've kept it together. And as a fan, just to know how hard that is just really remarkable. And it makes it feel great. Like, I feel like I'm all in with these guys. And I know a big part of it is the locker room. If you don't have a locker room, a great locker room, and guys encourage each other and pumping themselves up, then this never happens. And there's a lot of locker rooms out there that aren't good. But this one is so unique, so tightly knit. And these guys got each other's back 24/7, and it's carried them and brought along the young guys, a lot of young guys, and guys that hadn't played ever before have had to take major roles. And it's as a fan, I love it. It's just been a blast. I had a chance. Kyle came up and gave me a big hug before I went out for the coin toss. And I said almost those exact words, like, Kyle, you're a stud, man. You got to be Coach of the Year, what you've done and how much I appreciate him. And I mean, it's so cool. It's just, it's great to see.
Yeah. But I mean, if they don't win, we should get rid of him and get rid of Steve Kerr and get rid of who else can we get rid of around here that wins? Like, Why are fans always on LSD for some reason? I don't know why. But
what's so weird? Like, think back to growing up. There was never ever anybody calling for coaches' jobs or players.
There's no social media.
Yeah, I guess.
And no talk radio really either. Like, I don't know what talk radio would like. There was no sports talk radio when I was growing up. I don't know if there was when you were. Maybe just starting?
Maybe towards the end. Well, I was listening to Ralph every now and then.
When you were like in high school?
No.
See, that's what I'm talking about. When we're young, there wasn't that stuff. So now this is an avenue for everyone to vent their frustrations and, more importantly, let everybody know how smart they are. The problem is they end up letting everybody know how stupid they are, but it doesn't matter because all you're looking at is an egg anyway. So you don't even know the guy's face or the girl's face. So it's like, well, you're an idiot, egg, and they don't care. So it's just whatever. just keep on moving on.
It's really true. There's just people overreact to everything, and it's a long season, and it's game by game, and yeah. Positioning probably matters. Matchups matter once the playoffs start. But, I mean, you just don't know the way this NFL season's gone. No matter who you play, who knows, their starting quarterback might be out. Or
you never know.
Or their best pass rusher. And since we've had all that already, we already know how to deal with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll ask you now. I'll get back to the Niners in a second. What'd you think of Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement to play?
I love the amusement and his just good nature, and he looked a little chubbier. But to come into a game in 3 days and to even be able to function was a pretty significant event. Now, he didn't go out and light the world on fire, but he threw a touchdown pass. He was in the game. It wasn't like a total crushing debacle, but it is amusing, I must say, to see a guy that hasn't played for 1,800 days and is sitting on the couch and maybe coaching a team, but out of shape. And here he come. I'm going to go not only come back to a team, but hey, our backups are so bad, you're starting.
That's rough, man. If I'm a backup, I'm like, bro, is my career over already?
Bro, you've got you're lower than dog meat. Lou would turn up his nose at you.
Lou's on fire right now. Lou's very, very active today. She's bothering the hell out of Ogden. Just like she brought her hedgehog out and like play with me. And if you don't play with her, she's gonna bark at you. It's just that's the way Lou's functioning right now.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, so Phillip Rivers comes back. Mahomes goes down with did you watch any of that game, the Chiefs
No,
game?
I watched late.
Because I figured you were pretty
Sunday
busy
night,
and then the Niner game. Yeah.
Late Sunday night, I had to check the score recaps because I was completely oblivious. All I remember I saw the Bills getting blown out by the Patriots, and I'm like, holy crap. And I saw the Bills came back and won. I was like, are you kidding me again? Like, they're doing it with mirrors when they do that. And the Patriots, it just shows you, like, you can be on a roll. You can think you're the team to beat. But any given week, and that's not always the case with the NFL, but it's kind of exciting this year. Anything could happen.
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes goes down. The one that affects the NFC playoffs is Micah Parsons goes down with the ACL, and that really hurts the Packers. So it'll be interesting to see how the Packers play. They got the Bears, I think, this weekend, this Saturday. They got the Bears coming up. But I do believe, like, look, Phillip Rivers is going to get having him in there instead of Daniel Jones definitely gives the Niners a better chance to win this Monday night. They win this game, they're in the playoffs, and then you worry about seeding after that. But I agree with you that like they'll be feisty. It'll be depending on who they play, what the matchup is. But to me, there's the Rams and everyone else. Like if you wanted to do it, Rams, everyone else, Seattle, maybe a half step ahead, and then literally everyone after that. Like I mean, it's unlike this year is unlike any other year I've seen because the AFC, I could say the same thing. Where Denver and New England are your top two seeds, and they got quarterbacks who are unproven in the playoffs. So it's going to be a wild year. But yeah, I think if the Niners get in, who knows what could happen? I mean, who knows what could happen?
We've got a lot of momentum, a lot of positive things, and we say this every week, but we need to stay as healthy as we can, and that's an obvious statement. But we see other teams having guys drop. And we had all the bad luck the first half of the season, but right now we need a Ricky Pearsall to come back. We need to make sure, none of these injuries are going to put guys out for the playoffs. And you could get not even a great seed, but all of a sudden play against a team that's lost its two best guys, and all of a sudden that's a better seed than you could have gotten. So it's such a strange year. And so to try to predict or try to say, hey, we want to play this team, or boy, it'd be great to be matched up with this team. Like, nobody really knows, because every week someone's going down.
Yeah. I'm going to recognize this person again, and I know you're going to agree with me, but I'm just curious to get your thoughts on what Christian McCaffrey has meant for this team this year. Because I bet you if I looked, his yards per carry got to be among the worst of his career. Got to be. I mean, I look at his stats real quick. I don't know how quickly I can bring these up, but I
guess he's 3.6 or 3.7. If I had to
That's
guess.
what I would guess. That's what I would guess too. I would guess he's probably in the threes. Let me look. I'm going to look it up. Niners and player stats and McCaffrey and career. So yeah, 3.6. I'll just go down the list, starting with last year, working backward. 4.0, 5.4, 4.7, 4.6, 4.5. He had a 3.8 in there, but that was only 3 games played for the Panthers in 2021. 4.8, 5.0.
Wow.
He had a 16 game where he started 10 his rookie year. He was at 3.7. So if he stays at 3.6, this will be the lowest of his career. And then, of course, what he's done in the passing game. But the fact that they've asked so much of him, and he shouldered the load, and he is not, I don't even know if he's missed like a snap. In fact, God, what was that game they put him in at the end of the game, and he wanted to come out, and Shanahan didn't let him come out, and then they threw that touchdown pass.
Yes.
It was like a seam route. I can't remember who it was against, but like what he's done and what he's meant for a team. And like, he's always going to mean something to your team because of who he is and how good he is. But the fact when everybody else is falling apart, that he just continued to shoulder the load and continue to do it and be their number one option in their running game, be their number one option in their passing game for a better part of the season. I mean, this is not going to be his finest year statistically. It may go down as, if not his finest year, one of his finest years, because of what it's meant to the team for him to be available and how they've had to use him to get to where they are.
Well, I think you've said that perfectly, Tom. And if you kind of look at the most valuable player, it's always truly around statistics, right? The NFL's become, everything is about stats nowadays. Didn't always used to be like that. But if you've watched every game and watched his contribution to this team this year, with all of our superstars going down at some point and him being the lone wolf multiple times, and what he's done, grinding through to get 3.5 yards, catching 8, 9, 10 passes a game, getting hit, getting knocked around, not complaining, not saying, hey, our O-line needs to get a push. The biggest challenge, and we talked about this either last week or the week before, is we don't really have a deep threat. So nobody is worried about that. So we're playing a lot of 8-man box. We're playing safeties up tight. I mean, there's times where there's probably 9 men inside of a 10-yard box, and it's like, golly sakes, there's no open space. And in all honesty, it hasn't been our best run blocking year from the offensive line. And so all those things, he never says a word. I was down on the field watching him in warm-ups. I don't care if anybody said anything. That guy has not lost anything. He's a beast, and he's every bit as good as he ever was. And he has been so instrumental to this team. I have so much respect for him. It's remarkable, because they've used him way more this year than they expected to.
Yep. I didn't even look at that because I was kind of curious. I should have looked at that. He has 259 rushing attempts this year, and his high for a career is 287.
Huh.
So he's about 30 away from that, and they have 3 games. They have 3 games left.
Yeah, and add his receiving into that, and
Yep.
it's got to be close to his high. And those are all hits and shots and body blows.
Yeah. So his receiving, his targets are his first 3 years in the league. He had 113 targets, 124 targets, 142 targets. Right now he has 108 targets with 3 to play. So that means they are what, 14. So he's a little over 10 targets a game. So he may get to like his best, his most targets of his career. His receptions, he had, good Lord, I forgot how good he was. Like his first few years, 80 catches, 107 catches. He had 116 catches.
Come on.
His third year with the Panthers. Good Lord. He's got 86 catches, though, this year. So he needs 14 in 3 games to get to 100 catches. So he could easily do that. But,
man,
to have those numbers, along with possibly setting a career high in rushing attempts coming off an injured year, it just, look, I mean, it's been nothing short of phenomenal what he's meant to this team. What he's meant to this team. Yeah. And I just, you get this one and you get to 11, and then there's still a chance, depending on what happens on Thursday, they could win the division. I mean, wouldn't that be the wildest thing ever?
Wow.
I mean, can you imagine if they now they're going to finish tough, right? At Bears at home and Seattle at home. So they're going to have 2 tough ones. And I would imagine the Bears are going to be, they'll have something to play for as well. So that's going to be
everybody's going to have something at that point.
Yeah.
Those last couple.
Yeah. That's going to be a tough one. But to think that with everything that's happened, like they actually have a chance to win the NFC West, it's like, it's stunning. It really is.
It is super rewarding. It feels great. We're on a mini roll. We take it one game at a time. I don't want to get overconfident. I don't want to start looking at tiebreakers or matchups or anything.
Yeah.
Because it makes me start to get super intense and I get too worried about this, that. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it right now because it's been enjoyable.
As well you should. So I was looking at some of the teams, just like kind of not really digging too deep into them, but I think we can. I don't know. Well, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but I think the Rams are the best in the NFC, offensively, defensively, coaching. I think they have everything like that you want for a championship. Okay, then Seattle's probably second best. Turnovers are a little bit concerning with them, but their defense is really good. Myers is really nails. I mean, he had 6 field goals against Indy. And again, I like Darnold. The running game's fine. Daxton Smith-Njigba's incredible, but Darnold can turn the ball over. But I would think they're probably the second best team in the NFC.
I would agree. I will say this. If we beat them again last game of the season and we beat them twice this year, that probably puts us at the second best team, no matter what the season said.
You're right. You might be right.
Gotta be. I mean, you beat someone head to head twice. It's tough to.
Yeah. No,
but their defense would concern me the most out of all the teams left in the NFC, including the Rams. The Rams' offense is more explosive, in my opinion. But yeah, Seattle has the defensive stalwarts, and that's always a concern come playoff time because there's always added pressure and there's noise and there's weather and all the things that go into that. I would not want to play in Seattle again this year for sure. Playing in LA doesn't bother me because we'll have way more 49er fans than they will. But playing in Seattle is a little
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. They have the worst home field advantage in the game. The Chargers and the Rams have the worst home field advantage in the game. Philadelphia, I kind of feel the same way. Like elite defense, like that's a defense that can win a championship. That offense has been busted all year long.
All year.
It's crazy. All year long, it has been busted. Like if you score 24, you got a great chance to beat the Eagles. In fact, you're probably going to beat the Eagles if you score 24 points. I don't know what the hell happened, but the offensive line isn't as good. That's clear.
That is for sure.
But
Saquon's having a little of the CMC factor going for him this year, and he's probably at 3.6 or 3.7 and frustrated.
Yeah. Were you with the Bears?
You know what? I can't get my arm around the Bears because it's just like it's psychological in my mind. I think the Bears suck. And I've watched them, and there's been a couple games where, you know what? I think their defense is pretty good, and I think their offense can either show up or not. And that's them. And if it shows up, they're going to be a tough team to beat. But I'm still not sure with Caleb Williams that he's going to be ready for playoff football. But maybe he gets an extra energy shade of orange for his nails, and it propels him to victory.
Oh my God. I like them. I wonder about him too, in the same way I wonder about Drake May and Bo Nix. And the Bears defense isn't great. It's okay.
I thought it was I said it was good. It's good to compare to how it's been.
Yes.
So,
yeah, it has.
I've seen him, I've seen it keep them in a couple games, and I haven't watched every Bears game, so I don't.
Well, they were good against the Packers. I like the way they played against the Packers.
Yeah,
they're pretty good against the Eagles, but I mean the Eagles' offense sucks. So, but I'm with you. I don't watch all the Bears games, but I do like their receivers. I like Adunze and Moore. I think Loveland and Kmet are good tight ends, and I like Monungai and Swift that run like. And then Ben Johnson, I really like. I think he's
been a great, and that's it. And that's certainly, one of those intangibles come playoff time. Game planning and attacking other teams' weaknesses. And you think it sounds so easy, but it really starts to matter when you got completely focused on, one matchup, do or die.
Yeah. And then the AFC, who knows? I have no idea what the AFC it's like. It's throwing me for a loop, Brent. There's no Kansas City. That it just doesn't seem right that there's no Kansas City in the AFC playoffs. There might be no Baltimore, which would be crazy, and then no Cincinnati. So three of the top 5 quarterbacks in the game might not be in the playoffs this year.
It doesn't feel right, but it sure feels good. You know what? It's so good to see other teams. I sort of feel bad for the Bengals, the Ravens, the Chiefs. I'm tired of seeing them. And so let's mix it up. It's kind of cool to see. I actually thought New England would never see the playoffs again in my lifetime, but they put it together. They were so spoiled for so many years, but good for them for coming back, and it's good to see. It's nice to see things get mixed up a little bit. The Broncos, man, that's an impressive story. It just those teams though set themselves up for young quarterbacks, playoff weather, or something like huge first round upset. I mean, that's how I view those teams right now.
Yeah,
and I love chaos, and so I'm rooting for some chaos.
Oh, I love chaos as well. Did you watch any? I know you were traveling yesterday a little bit. Did you watch any of the Steelers Dolphins game?
So I got home and I turned it on. It was like the fourth quarter, and it was like the Dolphins, in their 2-minute drill, and I'm like, what the heck has gone on? Because I think Troy was hammering. Because man, Troy's been so good. Troy just doesn't care anymore. He sounds like me and you talking about teams. You're not supposed to tell the truth.
He's so right, though. It's like here, there. It's 28-3, and Miami's kind of casually going about their business, and then all of a sudden they scored the second touchdown. It's like, oh, now we got to hurry up. Now I got to get stuff going, like onside kick and do this. I go, where were you guys 7 minutes ago? Would you just oh, hey, well, wait a minute, we got a chance now. Let's let's actually try to like tune this up a little bit and see if we can like either do or don't. Okay, don't no. And it's I was with him because Troy was almost like beside him. So he's like, I don't know what's going on out here. I don't know what they're doing.
It's so great to hear. It does make me laugh. And it's good to hear someone get to a point where they call it like they see it, because it's just, there's a lot of dumb things that happen from a coaching perspective. I mean, when you're down like that, you got to be in 2 minute, like the whole fourth quarter. I don't care what you say. Holding, having a huddle or trudging up to the line or walking back to the huddle or letting the play clock run down to 8 seconds before you snap the ball. That's like Bill Walsh would run out on the field and choke you. I mean, there's just no way stuff like that ever exists.
You know what else drives me nuts? When teams are on the other side of the coin, when teams are up, snapping the ball with like 7 seconds left on the clock or punting it with 8 seconds. What, like, I know it's only like 4 or 5 seconds, but 4 or 5 seconds over the course of a quarter could end up being 30 seconds, which could end up being the difference in the game. Like, why can't you take it down? I'm not saying you have to get it to 1 every time and play that game, but you should be able to get it to 3 or less before you snap the ball on the fact that
100% agree.
What do they do? Like, I'm just like, what are you doing? Are you just like stupid? Are you stupid or something?
What
are we doing?
Teams don't focus on how to manage clock and how to manage time. We used to have meetings on that all the time, and who could call timeouts when, and when you were going to get out of bounds, and when were you going to juke a guy and go for the extra 10 or 15 yards, and everybody's got to be aware. And even if you don't know it completely, just the fact that you have a couple meetings on it throughout the year keeps you, at least your senses heightened to, oh, hey, we're in a 2 minute drill. I better hustle back to the huddle, or I better get up to the line of scrimmage, or I better not let the clock run down to 2 before I snap it.
What was your philosophy on getting out of bounds or juking a guy to try to get a couple extra yards?
It's all situational. It's all how many timeouts you have left, what you need, a field goal or a touchdown, and kind of, what was kind of the angle. Like, don't be the guy that's right there ready to step out of bounds, and then all of a sudden you do the juke Luke and you get tackled in bounds, and you see the ref's arm winding the clock, and every coach wants to kill you, like, you're an idiot. And so just don't be that guy. So I don't think I was ever that guy, but there was a few times where guys think you're going to go out of bounds and you just step and plant and give them the John Taylor limp leg and rock and roll and either get down the field another 10 or 15 yards and call a timeout or get out of bounds. But you don't do the old juke and get nailed
2 yards.
Yeah. Or
2 extra yards.
Or do the juke with 8 seconds and no timeouts and your clock's ticking. You lose. Okay, dummy. Nice move. That was a great juke.
Oh my gosh. What were the things that drove Bill the craziest? What were like his pet peeves that if you did it, you knew you were going to get crushed?
Well, not getting out of bounds if you had the chance to and we were down on timeouts or we needed to preserve time, that would be number one. Let's see what else. Ball security, no, like that would be a big one too. And then, not running back. Like if you had to run a big go route and you don't jog back, either sprint back or get your butt off the field, like wave and get somebody else to come in for you. There were little things. The other, he was so precise on route running too. Don't go 9.5 if the route is 10. Like, and don't go 9.5 if it's 3rd and 10. You're allowed to go 10 or 10.5 in that situation. So the rules, like Ralph would have said, 2 things can be equally true.
Yes.
So don't be a dumbass when it's on the line. It really comes down to that. Like, be aware of down and distance. Like I was never a guy on 3rd down that caught it half a yard short. ever. And
Don't be
I never had the game clock run out because I juked a guy. It's just a few common sense things that can give coaches heart attacks.
Yeah, there you go, kids. There you go. If you're watching the show and you've learned one thing from today's show, this can be applicable to sports or outside of sports. Don't be a dumbass. Just don't be a dumbass, okay? And if you don't know what a dumbass is, ask what a dumbass. Ask somebody who's not a dumbass, would a dumbass do this? And if they say yes, then don't do that. Okay?
Don't do that.
Just
Even if
learn
just semi pay attention.
how to
and
not
you'll
be a
okay.
dumbass. I'll give you an example in basketball, how not to be a dumbass. You got the ball, you're down 3 points, teammate shoots the ball from 3, they miss it. You get the rebound and you lay it back up and in. That's being a dumbass, because now you're going to lose by 1.
There
You gave yourself no chance to win. If you're a quarterback and you're losing and you're on a game-winning drive and it's 4th down, don't go down with the ball. Throw it left-handed, right-handed, kick it, fumble it. Do not go down with the ball. That is being a dumbass is what you're doing.
It happens a lot, shockingly, too.
Don't be a dumb. Oh, it's incredible. Like,
I mean, I throw a pass like this behind. Like, all right,
yeah, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Just
your stats don't matter.
They don't matter. That was when I went back and forth on Derek Carr forever. I went back and forth on him. Like, is this guy good? Is he not good? Do I like him? Do I not like him? They had some Raider games where I was like, you know what? I do. No, I don't. Nah, yeah, I do. And I finally made up my mind. I think they're playing the Jaguars. I think Ogden and I have talked about this. Whereas, like, the end of the game, they're down, like, it was either 7 or less than 7, but they needed a touchdown. I think it was 7 to tie the game up. And they had the ball down at the 8-yard line. It's like 4th and goal at the 8 or something like that. And they rush him. He rolls out right, and then he throws it away. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, just throw it in the end zone. Maybe a sea of hands will happen, but just give somebody a chance. Don't just throw it away. Like, hey, that's a great play in the second quarter. It's the end of the game. Like, you throw it away, you lose. The game is over at that point. You're not getting the ball back. And he threw it away. And I go, okay, I made up my mind. We're done.
And so at that point, you became a non-Derek Carr fan?
Yeah, I did. Well, I don't know that I was ever a fan
point.
one way or the, but that was just like, okay, now I know what side I'm on. I'm on that's what side I'm on. But I do like Derek Carr.
Pretty good, but there were
he was
some up and downs.
But I couldn't trust him after that. And look, I'll give Derek Carr credit for doing something that no one else would have done. He wouldn't have given back guaranteed money that the Saints owed him when he got hurt and rehab and collect the money. He just said, I don't want to do it that way here. I don't want that money. Nobody else.
Right.
Well, I shouldn't say nobody else. Few players would have done that. And they don't have to do it because, look, they've earned it. That's their money. They've earned the money. But he just said, I don't want to collect it that way. And I was like, props to you, man. That was.
Oh, he spun it around. He was back in your favor.
Yeah, well, I still can't get over the 4th and 8. Throw it out of I saved it.
Hey, I'm not throwing another pick.
I still remember this stuff, Brent. I remember a Georgia Tech game from probably like 20 years ago. A kid named Reggie Ball was a quarterback for Georgia Tech, and it was a 1-score game, and it was like at the 50-yard line or something. It was like 4th and 7, and he rolled out to the right, and then he just chucked it like 30 yards out of bounds. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, the game's over now. Like, great. You're not going to ruin your stats. You gave the team no chance to win. Like, that kind of stuff just drives me crazy. No matter what sport it is, when you do something that flies in the face of just giving yourself a chance to win, it's like the Dolphins drove me crazy last night with the way they handled the clock. It's like, do you guys want to win the game? I'll give you a situation. And I feel like I'm with Dave Flemming. I told Dave, I go, Dave, you can go home now. I just like rant for a minute.
That's perfect.
And Dave goes, great. I'll just watch you. But in a football game, when there's like 40, let's say 20, 25 seconds left, and you need to get into scoring range, whether you need a field goal or a touchdown, you're like the 20-yard line. You have to throw 20-yard passes, whether they get picked off or not.
So
You
true.
have to throw the
You
ball
have to.
down the field. You can't go 2 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards. I go, it doesn't work that way. I go, there's not enough time to do that. You have to put the ball in jeopardy as a quarterback. You just have to, like, if you want to win, if you kind of want to make it look like you're trying to win and you want to protect your stats, then just go ahead and do that. Play that silly game. You're going to check down and the guy will run. But if you really want to win, put the ball in jeopardy, throw it up, maybe get somebody to catch a 20-yarder, go up, spike it, another 20-yarder, and then you kick a field goal after that. But that drives me crazy when quarterbacks do that, knowing that it doesn't give them the best chance to win. It just it does.
And I don't blame you. And to be honest, everyone's so worried about the boundaries that I just swear you got to run deep crossing routes no matter what and take your shot. And then if you get it 20, 25 yards, burn a timeout. Sometimes coaches get so worried about the timeouts that they forget where's the hole in the field. The hole in the field is going to be in the middle or one of those seams toward the middle because everybody's worried about keeping you in bounds. And so it's like take your shot because everybody knows that you're trying to throw to the sideline. So do the opposite. And it's not done enough, I promise you.
Lou's on crack. Lou's literally Lou is on crack
nuts
today. I don't know what's going on with her, but she has not stopped moving since we started the show. She's been over there. I'm just out of the corner of my eye, I'm watching her maul Ogden, just maul him. Then she comes over and sits on my lap. Then she mauls him again. The bunny's rocking. Somebody gave the bunny meth. The bunny's like sprinting around the.
Oh my god!
So I don't know what's going on here.
If you only had a mini move. Now you're off. This is the beauty of the Mr. T podcast. Oh my God. Are we still on? Now I'm nervous that my mic's not working. Should I check my emails? Oh, man. You're a beauty. Are we good? I can't hear you. Is it me? Is it on my end? The hell? I should be good. It says you're on mute. I can't hear anything. This is the way. It's been great seeing you folks. It's been great having you. Dude, it says you're on mute on my screen. You're on mute. Mute. I don't know. I don't know. It's not me. I don't think it's me. And if it is, I'm retarded. But everything apparently says I'm good to go. Like, I don't see anything, any button I've hit. Are they telling you it's me? Gosh darn it. I didn't touch anything. Hello? It's not me. There's no way. This is great. Okay. My mic. See, you can hear me. See, look at my thing. Mute. Wait. Unmute. Yours is muted. Okay, well, it's been real. It's been real. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Okay. I have no idea what happened. Okay, we're good to go. Okay. I'll see you next week.
Hold on. You got me?
I do.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Now I lost your face. That was outstanding. We could start our own pantomime show.
Yeah.
What?
Oh my God. All right. I will let you go. I at least wanted to say goodbye.
Thanks. That was awesome. It was legendary trying to figure it out.
Oh yeah, it was legendary. Lou just ruined it. Lou's on. You can hear.
I hear. She's going insane.
Why are you barking?
That was great.
Well, okay. Tell the family I said hi. It was great. It was great meeting them,
dude. It was awesome having you. You're the best.
Talk to you Monday after the
Monday night. I'm
going
to take a nap, so I'll be ready.
Okay. It'll be me, you, and Bergie.
Bergie.
There you go.
Okay.
You'll get to see the glorious calves.
No, I can hardly wait to see.
Tell everybody I said hi, Brent.
All right, buddy.
All right, talk to you, pal.
Okay.
Oh my God. What the hell? And now I can hear myself. Why can I hear myself? And it just, oh my gosh.
I can hear you.
I know, but I should be able to hear myself. What a disaster.
Brent's still laughing at you.
All right, let's go. All right, we're out of here. I gotta go pick up Mila from school. So thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. That was something. Thank you to Dave Flemming. Thank you to Brent, the Hall of Famer. And thank you to myself for being able to hear myself. Lou's gonna pull a cord out really quick too. I mean, she's gonna pull it out with her coochie. She's like, it's got the cord like a wire. It's a mess. And the bunny over there on crack. Jesus, I'm out of here. All right, see you guys. Like, subscribe. I don't give a shit. Do what you want to do. Bye.
And remember this, Tommy T. Cash and tickets is what it's all about.